The adult beverages are poured. Tonight it's coffee. The kids are asleep. Welcome to, even more important, the kids are in school. Welcome to New Dad Gaming. Game about fatherhood, gaming, and new fathers figuring out their gaming lives. My name is Trevor, and I have a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old.
And I'm Jeff. I have a 9-year-old and a 6-year-old, both in school.
They're in school. The kids are done. We did it. We did it.
That's it.
Now our summer
The
begins.
job's done.
Yeah.
Wipe your hands. That's it.
Kids have forgotten everything. They're back in school to try to learn it, and away we go. Did you do big, elaborate first day of school posts? Do you do elaborate back to school posts every year, like with the chalkboard and the here's everything I learned?
You know what, Trevor? I feel you are judging. You're a little bit judgy. And yeah, I'll admit there's a chalkboard involved, and there's a first day and a last day, and we've been doing it for years.
That's amazing.
Can't break it now. Can't.
I'm not judging. That's awesome. Like they will appreciate. Like you'll like having that later down the line. I didn't do it.
Hopefully.
I don't think I'll ever do it. Like it's just.
Well,
we don't
that's
feel
good.
that organized.
You set that bar. Yeah, no, you set the bar. You don't have to continue. Now I can't stop or skip a year because that'll look ridiculous.
Okay.
Right? I can't stop now.
Even better is if you did it with the first kid and continued it with the first kid, but then you didn't do it with the second.
And then
you
just quit it?
Yeah.
No.
Not even quit it. The second kid gets none, but the first kid keeps going.
Yeah. Well, it is pretty funny actually to look back on it because we do the chalkboard thing. We say the first day of whatever, JK, let's say, of my firstborn, and what do you want to grow up to be? And his answer when JK happened was he wants to be a spaceship. I'm like, that's amazing.
Should we correct it? Oh, yeah. No, that's perfect.
No, absolutely not. This is why you're going to school.
To be spaceship. So,
yeah.
We could all dream to be so useful in our lives.
Back of the class.
Yeah, so our first came up. So it's close enough that it doesn't make sense to have him on the bus. Plus the bus timing is almost kind of weirdly strict, so we drop our kid off. That's a nightmare. For any gaming dads out there dropping your kids off, like it's a nightmare, right? Like it is a 15-minute window. For us, it's like from 7:45 until 8, you're allowed to drop your kid off. And it is just every dad for himself. It is just a world war. Like people are like parachuting in. There's cars like ripping through trees. It's unbelievable. There's buses coming in which ruin everything. Because like they just like the traffic is destroyed in front of the school, so I couldn't believe it. It's like you have 15 minutes to get your kid to school.
That's it.
And we did.
No,
he was late the first day. He got like a late slip.
Oh, you're those parents. Oh no.
For junior kindergarten, first day, my son had to show up with a green like my parents are idiots.
Oh, I actually gave him a slip. That's hilarious. On the first day, come on, there's leeway, there's flexibility.
Yeah,
it's a hard school.
So it's not, which is kind of weird too, because it's not his fault. It's my fault. Like I should get the slip.
Yeah, well, they live through you.
Maybe this little $20 bill will kind of make this go away. Teach.
No, this is a perfect video game. I think we made a new game idea. We just 15-minute school drop off, and you have to go around all the obstacles.
Have to fight buses, crossing guards,
avoid the principal giving you late slips, all sorts of stuff, and slip your kid in school.
Oh, what game was it where that after a time expired, something that would kill you started to chase you, and then it like just got that odds got or the drama got ramped up 100 degree. Remember what I'm talking about?
Oh, I just remember that little ski game.
Yeah.
And after a while, the Yeti would chase you, or whatever it was. I remember that's what I related that to. So
that would be the close one, I think. So it's like that, except it's a principal with a piece of paper, and if you don't, and then it's like the game is on. You really have to get moving at that point.
That's what it is. Yeah.
God, but so our oldest in junior kindergarten, glorified daycare. He got told off for bringing toys. He was late his first day. It's
he got a little rebel there. He just.
Well, I was watching like everyone. I saw all the other kids, and everyone else like seemed fairly. Of course, everyone else looks fantastic. They're all buttoned up. They're going to school. They're not having an issue. Our show's up disheveled to all heck, he had just. I'm expecting to get called into the principal's office any day because he had a bruise on one side of his face when he took a spill off of a monkey bar. The other one, he had had him on my shoulders and misjudged a branch. So he had this like gash going on his eye. And I'm like, I'm going to get a call in. It's like, listen, is everything okay?
You're going to get another slip. Another slip. And it's going to be pink slip.
It's going to be a police report. It's like, what are you doing to this kid? Yeah, it's like, I swear, he's just very active and uncoordinated. I promise.
Yeah.
But so that's wild. So my youngest is going to school.
It's a big milestone. Yep.
Yeah, that was wild to see. It's amazing. My other one is turned 2 officially. So now I officially have a 2-year-old. So a 4 and a 2-year-old.
Yeah, it's 2 more years to go for both school and both kind of out of your hair for a bit.
Yeah. And out of the hair is right because it is just like we've recording this episode took us a while. I think we had 4 call-offs until we could finally both get on because my household is just a nightmare right now with fighting these things because like it. So this will be the segment of the show where I, amidst drowning, desperately ask for a lifeline that Jeff probably won't throw me.
Yeah, no, I'll probably stand and watch. Maybe add a comment.
So let's see how it goes.
But let's see. Let's roll.
Does it get better? Like, do they eventually like?
No.
Do they sleep? Do they eat eventually? Cool. Okay, so this is just life now.
Yeah, no.
Thanks, Jeff. This concludes. Jeff doesn't save a drowning Trevor. The thing with eating for me is so they don't eat. They refuse to eat, and we're chasing them around. And
God, I want your children. I'll trade you.
See, well maybe they'll swap. So you can almost half throw me that lifeline, but they just won't eat. I have to chase them around. And I'm of the school of thinking, and there's a way I was raised too, where it's you. To alleviate it, you set a dinner time and you put the food down. Yep. We eat at this time and this is the food. If you don't eat, there's going to be no snacks and I'll see you at breakfast. Right?
Done. Yep.
Like with a 2 and a 4-year-old though, like and especially the 2-year-old, he tends to be underweight. Perfectly healthy with every checkup we've done, but ultimately he's a bit underweight. So like that strategy is real hard to like push through. Right? So yeah. We kind of find ourselves in some nightmare scenarios. I kind of want them just to be older so that I can starve them. Is that fair? In so much that
I think that's fair. Yeah.
If it's
they can communicate to you properly that my stomach's eating itself. Yeah. Instead of whining about something they're not sure why.
Well, I mean that whole like this is dinner time. You'll eat at this time, and then if not, you'll go to bed hungry. Feels better with like a 4 and a 6-year-old as opposed to like a 2 and a 4-year-old.
I would agree, yeah. So. And you can set the meals too, right? Like, this is what we're eating. If you don't like it, that's tough luck.
Go off, yeah.
See you in bed.
See you in bed.
Bye. Like,
I hope it gets better. We'll see.
Oh, but you know what? I won't go into my situation, but let's hear more about Trevor's drowning.
Oh, yeah. So, all right. So it didn't help me. That's fine. That's nice.
No, that's I'm just saying it's real. This is your life now. No time stone to turn it back.
Dear. See. So we'll see where they get to. Like it'll be we just need to get past, like I said, a little bit of time, and then we can set those boundaries. And I'm a definite believer in that. It's you set up those kind of boundaries and you put them into it, and like this is the time we eat dinner. Well, I'm not going to chase you around, but I'll be able to pull that a bit harsher when they're older, and then they'll both be in school.
Yeah, dig your heels in.
Yeah, we'll figure out bedtime.
Exactly.
I'd like to think
they won't talk back.
So, yeah. Now the one thing is so that now we don't dispense we don't dispense a lot of advice on the show, because I think even just from our own conversation, like it can vary so much household to household, kid to kid.
Yeah.
I think something that you would agree in being universal though is, and something that's really worked well for me this summer, is finding things that you like to do and offering it to the kids, because if they take it up, you're golden. Like things are fantastic.
Yeah.
Because what happened for me this summer was with biking, and I've mentioned this a few times on the show. Like I bought the carrier for the bike so they could ride behind me. and they adore it. And I like biking. Like, I am happy to go biking. So whenever they ask me, "Hey, can we go biking?" It's like, yes, let's go biking. That's fantastic. I want to do that. Let's do that thing. And then they're happy, I'm happy, and it's great. And like, I think you found the same thing, where it's just like, if you introduce them to things you like, there's a chance they like it too, and then you get to like it together, right?
Yeah. It's more like hanging out instead of, trying to keep them corralled, and more parenting, quote unquote.
Yeah.
No, you're just hanging out with them and you're enjoying what you love to do, and they're liking what you're doing. It's perfect. It's a great, ideal scenario.
Was there something in particular you had introduced that worked well for them, that they got into?
Well, just with the show, the gaming itself, they love to game with me. So they're always asking for games that are co-op or something that we can all play together, which is awesome, because then I get to, and we're into games that, like Diablo 3, like we're into that, which is awesome to do.
And you're playing Diablo 3 with your kids now? That's amazing.
Yeah. And like, I think it's a parenting decision. Obviously, there's blood in that one. And I don't know, it's everybody's cool with it in this household, and some parents might not be. But I don't know, my kids have seen Star Wars and stuff, so we're on to interacting with demons and monsters and blood and guts. So it's pretty wicked.
It seems so. Yeah, that's amazing. Now that seems so fantasized, and it's ghouls and goblins and like that type of stuff. So it certainly feels, it's not it's not a murder simulator. It's like you're fighting flying griffins. You'll be fine.
Yeah, that's all they want to do anyway. There's no story-driven stuff to it, that they don't even follow it. So, no, yeah, if you introduce them to anything that you have, like your own hobby or something that you are into, even if it takes a few tries, they'll get with it because they want to spend time with you. And then you can both do something that, calms you down and like kind of makes you, a little bit recharged, instead of just stressing or adding that extra energy into something that you don't really want to be doing. So biking is awesome. And that like is twofold. You get, your active time and stuff, and then they're out there just enjoying it, possibly even falling asleep. So
yeah, a couple times. It's funny how well that works. So take them around their nap time and happen to get them the drop.
Oh, that's awesome. That's great.
So one thing that so my kid watched his first couple episodes of Pokemon, which was great. He chose it from.
Yay.
We're doing a bit of TV time, and he had chosen it from a list. And it's like, okay, there we go. I do a little Pokemon. I understand that. And that kind of dovetailed nicely, because there was Pokemon Masters that was just released for mobile. Now,
yes,
I was huge into Pokemon Go. Adored it. Like, I clocked a ton of miles on that thing, like literal miles, as far as that game would work. Haven't touched this thing. Have you messed with it at all?
Yeah, I downloaded it and kind of booted it up with the kids around. Haven't really got it too far into it, but it looks like a full-fledged like Pokemon game on your phone, which is, I don't know, quite a awesome thing to have. And it's free to, with that little asterisk that, it's grinding. So basically you still have to grind to get ahead in the game, otherwise you spend money. So I'm kind of sad that it takes away the get out and go somewhere and find things aspect. But it's still pretty cool that it has all these like original battle mechanics in this game, and it feels like it's a full game versus just like a free to play thing. So it's kind of neat that it's done.
When you say grind, would you say, is it comparable to just a classic Pokemon grind, or have they kind of ratcheted it up to try to get payments?
It's kind of like, it's even like Pokemon Go, where if you ran out of balls or whatever and you didn't want to go to the stop, then you had to pay for it, right? Or wait for the next day to see if you can get your bonus stuff. So it's everything's works on a time, or like you have to fill like a meter. So it's kind of, you can put in the work, or you can kind of wait until time ticks away as well as put in the work. but there are kind of walls that you hit that you're like, oh god, I don't want to. Like, then I could just pass it off to my kid, and then they would go for it, and I can just go have a nap.
So kids are becoming gaming farms. That's perfect.
Yeah, that's right. You play this. Let me know when Charizard shows up. But no, I don't think it's I don't think it's any worse. I could certainly see them ratcheting it up for the next one, especially if this one's taken off, just like Pokemon Go kind of did in the beginning.
Yeah.
I don't think it'll be nearly as popular. Pokemon Go kind of reached all ages, where this will just kind of reach its core audience, which I think most people will be happy with.
Yeah, there was just something about really like timeless isn't the right word, but just transcending about Pokemon Go, where it's just the mechanic was just so fascinating, and like it's so interesting to be out, and especially like to see other people with their phones, like just kind of swiping, and like you can clearly see that they're doing it. I was at a fest this summer. I was at like a Rib Fest, and I get the sense there must have been some sort of rare Pokemon, because there were just a dozen or more adults with phone that you could just see them like, oh, you're doing Pokemon Go. I can see it. I know you're doing it.
Yeah, they did have a couple events for sure.
So. I was pointing out to my wife, like, there. You see the guy like waggling his finger on the phone? You see he's spinning the Pokeball to get a better chance.
To fling it to get the perfect catch. Yeah.
So that's it. Yeah, shame they kind of took that mechanic, but I mean that game still exists and goes on. So like, why not kind of trip into something new? So it's as long as it's not too grindy, if it's kind of comparable to a normal Pokemon game, then
I would say so.
And that's kind of exciting. Well, good on them. So continuing with Nintendo, they had their Nintendo Direct.
Yeah.
And announced, it's funny to say finally, like it's surprising it hadn't been on there yet, but like Super Nintendo games come to the Switch.
So long.
Insane. Yeah. Like again, it feels bizarre. Like, really? They weren't there yet?
Really? And really, like, everyone was kind of wondering what was happening with Nintendo Online, because the games they were offering on Nintendo, the Classic, were horrible. Like, it wasn't going anywhere. And then everyone was just bugging Nintendo, just press the button, make Super Nintendo. So they finally did it, which is awesome, because everyone's asking for it. And they're like, we'll pay you. Just put it up there so we can get our games. And they did it.
Let me give you the
good
money.
Games.
Yeah, man, Pilot Wings. So like we're seeing the list here now. It's kind of going. Let's see if I can rewind at a decent pace. So like I was almost surprised. I was almost surprised at some of it. So Breath of Fire. I was kind of F-Zero. Joe and Mac, Kirby. Pilot Wings, Star Fox. Stunt Race FX. Now that one was like,
love that game.
It feels a bit niche, but I remember I played the heck out of that game. Like that was amazing.
Oh yeah,
I mastered that game. Yeah, like the cars in that one felt so great. Like they're all like different, playing like the monster truck as opposed to like the race car.
Yeah,
I
will say it didn't really hold up. It's just, I don't remember it being that choppy. Like it's really like you can tell the FX chip or whatever Star Fox had come out with. I don't know. It's my memory and part of this emulation software, but
okay. So we had chop. So Super Ghouls and Ghosts, Super Mario World.
Yep.
Oh, so we had a chat before the show. You called it Super Mario World 2 Yoshi's Island. I had never
just
seen
me this look like what?
Yeah, like number 2. What are you talking about? I only ever knew it as Yoshi's Island, so like, oh, there it is. Okay.
Yeah.
Now this is man, I'm telling you, some of this is almost surprising. Super Metroid and Legend of Zelda.
I don't know why they did that, but that's amazing. I'm glad they didn't hold back.
Man, like Super Tennis, Super Soccer, like man, I adored those two. Like I love Super Tennis.
Super Soccer was amazing. I loved it. Oh.
Wait, Super Soccer or the tennis one?
Super Soccer. I played Super Soccer with my brother like forever. It's great.
That's why those are so good, because it feels like no name brand video games.
Yeah, it does. Oh, totally. Like generic. Like this is your no frills.
Yet somehow those two were so good.
I know. It's just fun.
Yeah,
Mario Kart, like.
So it's a heck of a first list. Like they really knocked that out of the park. They did not they did not come in quietly on this, so that's so great. And you have the online. So which ones did you download first? Like, what was your first go-to?
So my first go-to was Mario Kart. I don't know why. I always go to a Mario Kart game for Nintendo. And it's still it's not much of a shock to start that one up and kind of get into it. It's kind of harder because I'm used to the old controller about, the hop and slide around corners, but it works. It's a little bit, there's a learning curve to get back into it. But that one was, I showed the kids that and they're like, why does the graphics look weird?
So we have a new one.
So yeah,
it'd be a weird downgrade for them.
They are not on board with that one, but they love the Zelda, Legend of Zelda one, and Metroid they've loved since I got the SNES Classic. So we played a little bit of that on there. So, but yes, Super Ghouls and Ghosts, that's still a tough game. I have never completed that one. I remember in childhood I threw the controller so many times. But the rewind feature that comes with this thing, that will make that game so much easier, and you could probably save states and all that.
That probably means you could actually defeat it. Like, you could probably actually beat it, because just anytime you die,
probably. Just rewind.
I'd be down like that on a Mega Man game. That on
oh god, yes, yeah.
That on even like the original Mario game, any of the Mario games, like that'd be perfect. I think that is a super dad friendly feature.
It's absolutely a time saver. Yeah. So it's like, you don't get all stressed out.
Because if I decided to really dedicate myself, I'm sure I could replay this level 15 times and do it. But especially with like these old kind of archaic, you have only 3 lives nonsense. But that gone and just rewind it, like, man, that might be the sleeper dad system of this of the year. The fact that exists. Remember those games you never beat? Well, dads, here's your chance.
Yeah, exactly. Now you can by rewinding all the time.
Yeah, never.
So
they've launched and what a surprise! Like, they kind of knew it was coming. Now, would you get the controller? They obviously announced the controller.
Probably like a bit of not for that price. It's like $35. Maybe as like I don't know, something at Christmas or something.
It seems a bit much.
You don't need it. Like, the Joy-Cons are basically that.
Yeah, plus it's going to...
Right, like, it's not too much.
And it's not going to work with the other games, so it's a little...
It's kind of really custom, and then you have to subscribe to Nintendo Online. Like, make sure you subscribe for the end of time, unless this,
Well, I guess that's right, because you can't buy the game, so it's like if you... So that you buying that controller is kind of a guarantee. It's like, I bought the controller, I got to resubscribe. Otherwise, it's just plastic. Oh, okay.
Yeah, which it's not too expensive, right? It's probably $30 a year. I'm sure they'll grow that. But they did announce, or they did not announce, they slipped in that they're not doing monthly launches for this online store anymore. They're just going to do random drops. So that put questions into people's minds saying, are we going to live with these games for a year or a few weeks or what? So
I'd be kind of curious to see how they play it, because it could be just this month we're going to give up 4, and the next month you probably won't see one, and the next month 2, and then the next month 5. You know what I mean? Like, it might be kind of as available as opposed to trying to stick to a schedule, but it remains to be seen.
And hopefully it grows and they don't rotate out, because I would hate to see that kind of like a Netflix idea where we only have max this amount of games. I don't know. It's a good nostalgia trip for sure. So if you do have a Switch, absolutely get online and hop online, because you're going to have a great time. You're going to introduce your kids into the old school death mechanic of 3 lives and you're done. Kind of this.
Thank God for rewind. Experience. Yeah, that would be.
Yeah.
I'd be curious to see which ones become available, and that rewind, that's going to be so abused by dads. That's perfect.
Oh, absolutely. I've done so many things with it. So it's even in Metroid, even in Super Metroid, where you've kind of backtracked the wrong way. Rewind, just so you don't have to travel all the way back.
So that is genius. That is good. And it was good. They should just introduce that to all games. Help us out.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Now so forgive me, Jeff, I have game sinned.
Oh no.
In a number of ways.
We've talked about this. Come on.
A bunch of ways I've sinned from a gaming perspective.
Multiple.
So I I pre-ordered a game,
Oh,
which we kind of established isn't a good thing to do. Like,
you should not. No, you should not. Battlefront.
pre-order culture isn't great. And then secondly, I pre-ordered on the Epic Game Store.
Oh no, that's the double negative. You can't do that. This is not going to work.
Because it's Borderlands 3. It's coming out. It was just...
That is hilarious.
Now, some of the pre-order stuff, I'll say, a lot of it, in my mind, it's like if you pre-order and the game's not out for a year, it's like, okay, is it going to launch? Like, is it going to be good? Are they going to deliver on anything? Like, if you pre-ordered Anthem like a year in advance,
yeah,
you could see where there might be some issues. But like, so this is a Borderlands game. It's going to be fantastic. Like and any of the trailers for it, like it just shows. The funniest thing is to see early reviews of it. It's like, well, it's just more Borderlands. It's like, yeah, that's what I want. Like, that's what I want to spend money on. Like,
I'm sure a lot of people want that. They're like, why would you make a sequel that's not it? Right? You'd want that essence.
Yeah, there's just be some weird things that people see they want. Yeah, people see they want some like crazy wild evolution every time, and it's like not really. I lost the visual. Still there?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Yeah, like what are you losing exactly? So couldn't believe. So I was like super thrilled. But for me, it was like I am going to buy this game. There's no question. This will be one of the few ones that I buy like absolutely at cost. So I might as well pre-order and get the bonuses that come along with it. Like there's no.
Yeah.
That's about it. It's like I may as well because I'm going to get it. So I'll dive in.
Might as well.
Yeah.
That's good. I hope it turns out it's supposedly pretty good from the initial reviews. So I think you're safe.
I have some concerns about launch because like the Epic Store, it should be a young store, and the thought that it's going to manage a worldwide release, and they even worse is they have they're going to let you pre-download it, and then like just kind of on the day, like at midnight, they'll let you start playing it.
Oh, okay.
On the 13th at midnight. I don't know that like are they going to manage that okay? Is that going to work out?
I don't know.
Like,
wouldn't they start with a big game that's just like single player? This one's all multiplayer, right? Like it's got some good, like, I really like the way they're handling multiplayer. I found that to be really interesting. In so much that they have, like, so you're like a level 5, and like I'm a level 20. And we play together. Okay. The old way it used to work, and the way it works in a lot of games is, you know, we'd have to go to like a place that's level 5, and I go in there as a level 20 and just destroy the place, right? Like, but the stuff that I get, like the loot, would be just level 5, so it's garbage to me. They've done something really interesting where it's for your instance. So when I'm there, I'm fighting level 20 guys and getting level 20 loot. You're fighting level 5 guys getting level 5 loot. Right.
So they balanced it out. So so the multiplayer stuff is just like real genius. Like I love it.
Okay.
That part I like, and I think just some other like minor like quality of life stuff. It looks like it's going to be stunning. I have some doubts about whether they'll actually kind of pull off the launch too smoothly as far as like online, but
you won't have time to play it at launch anyway, so you're fine. Couple days.
Yeah, I know. Like I said, I didn't buy it for that reason. So I didn't pre-order for the reason to get that very first day. It was more, like I said, just to give me my loot in the my looter shooter. Right. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah. Well, it's good. We'll see. Those are two big sins, though. You should not do that again.
Forgive me, gaming dads, but it won't happen again. We'll see. Borderlands 4.
Oh, God, yeah. Just give it a couple years. You're getting DLC.
Man, how long was this? I swear, it feels like they announced this 5 years ago. It feels like it's been a long time.
It has been a while, but maybe that's because didn't they have a prequel in there somewhere? Maybe not.
Yeah, the pre-sequel. They had Borderlands 2, Borderlands the pre-sequel. They had a bunch of like Tales from the Borderlands, which were the Telltale games. Yeah, but this one I swear they launched. Okay,
They probably initially announced it and then.
Is that an E3? When was it? I really want to find this out. Hold on.
What should be just like last year?
Borderlands
And you're
3.
like, why my life?
Yeah, that's how long it's felt like. That's what time has been like for me.
Well, they had all the remasters too, right? Didn't they just like relaunch remaster? And then the VR add-on too.
Did Borderlands 3 get announced? Okay. New details. Man, that's back in April. I can see this article if they first announced it.
Of this year?
Yeah, this is back in April, but I'm telling you, it really feels like it was like 5 some odd years ago. Most of the thing announced, that's always like...
It's always this year or something.
Like, I think they gave the date. They decided on a date in April, so that's fine. All right, well.
That's interesting, though, that you can't really find it.
Yeah, I just remember the first trailer I ever saw, it was a... it was like Claptrap. You were going inside of Claptrap's mind. So it was a like a kind of like a fever dream inside of Claptrap, and like you're just running around with some of your people. And I swear it was like an E3 demo of it, and it was just like years and years and years and years ago. But who knows? Couldn't tell you. But I pre-ordered. I get it now, so we'll find. Gaming Dad Sins. Hopefully, we'll be absolved. We'll see where we get to.
Yeah. You busy playing that?
Well, yeah, busy.
Well,
let's see if I ever finish.
It's not going to be
that busy.
That's true too.
But that nicely wraps us up for the week. Thank you, everybody, so much for listening. This has been New Dad Gaming. If you'd like to get a hold of us, you can find us at our website at newdadgaming.com, on Instagram at newdadgaming, and also on Facebook with our Facebook group. If you have any dad gaming tips, any dad gaming stories, have you suffered through terrible first days with your kids, first days of school with your kids? Have you gotten pink slips? Like I got pink slips for my first day. We'd love to hear about that. We'll soon be getting in with the September and a new schedule as we try to get back to weekly. We'll be getting back into our Gaming Dad Victory of the Week. So please send in your nominations for Gaming Dad Victories. We'd love to hear from you about that. And otherwise, until next week, my name is Trevor, and I have a 4-year-old and a 2-year-old.
And I'm Jeff. I have a 9-year-old and a 6-year-old.
And if you want to listen to the podcast, the part that I forgot because it's been so long, you can find it on...
You can pre-order our episodes on...
Oh, yeah. Pre on the Epic Store. This podcast is now an Epic Store exclusive.
Yeah.
You can... We're on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, any of the major podcasting services. And, of course, we appreciate a subscribe, a rating, and most importantly, sharing around to other dads. So we will see you all next week.
All right. Get some rest.
What else are you waiting for? Because he done yet? Okay. Now we're done. Bye, Jay.
See ya.